more than 26,000 students who are ready to come back. Some, I would hope all. I know families are excited for the school year to start. I've been spending the last couple of weeks with our staff, our leaders, and now our teachers and support staff. And I think everybody feels a great sense of readiness. You know, we're a few years out now of a really difficult time for all public schools, all schools, you know, across our country. And it feels as though we have a real nice momentum behind us. So I think for our high school students, they are coming back to brand new schools that they have been part of a renovation if they're returning students. Freshmen who are new or new students to those schools are going to open the doors to an air-conditioned building, many modernized spots and additions to the schools. So it's a really exciting time for them. And of course, we've got a lot of work to do, both for our referendum and for future projects that we want to do. But the idea of modernizing the educational experience in Madison is something that I think everyone should look forward to. You know, I'm really happy. I arrived in May, and of course, at the end of the school year, the last thing you want to do is start anything new then. So I've learned a lot about Madison, a district I know well, having been born and raised here and worked here for the majority of my career. But I'm excited to know that with Act 20, the Literacy Act that was supported by the state and approved and put into law, that our staff have really taken that work serious. And the charge to truly address each individual unique student where they're at in terms of their literacy and their reading proficiency is something I'm looking forward to. I think we have the right people, the right training, the right resources in their hands. And now it's just exciting to know that our students are going to be successful in their efforts to improve their literacy. So I think people are generally excited about that. Partnerships have really changed in the district as well in terms of the spaces we've created at our high schools and the way in which we're partnering with our community. There are countless opportunities for students in high school especially to take classes that are important to them, that are exciting for them, and that are many times leading to high wage and high opportunity outcomes for them in terms of the workforce. As we know, our workforce right now is really strained and stressed and rapidly changing. And let's look at our students to be the future workforce, and I think many are taking advantage of those opportunities. Yeah, November 5th, we have two questions. One is a $100 million recurring operations referendum that we will bring forward in 4 different installments of $30 million, $30 million, $20 million, $20 million, and $20 million over 4 years, and then of course recurring beyond that. Important for us that we don't have the revenue to keep up with inflation and also the innovation and demand that we have from our students and our families of offering a high quality education. The second is a $507 million referendum for aging facilities. Several of our facilities are 60 years or older. We have given very little to them in terms of deferred maintenance over the years, so we're woefully behind in terms of major upgrades to our facilities, and it's the right time to truly look at heavy renovation or replacement, and that would be starting from scratch on available land that we have to rebuild campuses that are selected right now. So all told, it would be on the average price home an increase of more than $1,300 per month, but again, it's 2 questions and a truly long-range outlook on the impact it will have on the Madison Metropolitan School District. Actually, there's many ways that the community can become engaged and involved in learning about the referendum. We're starting a series of engagement meetings with the community this Thursday and have a schedule online. If you go to MMSD referendum, you're sure to find a landing page that will be updated regularly with current and relevant information. Well, health plans, again, I feel like we're in a great spot coming out of being forced to collaborate perhaps in levels that we haven't before. There still is a Dane County group that's meeting, and it might not be focused on COVID, but those relationships have strengthened and are here to serve all of our mutual interest in making sure that our community is healthy and, of course, our students. So efforts for vaccinations and eyewear and making sure that students can see and hear with their peers are partnerships that have come out of some of our really close work the last several years, so really proud of those efforts. I think for safety security, again, we are constantly looking for ways that we can connect with our students, connect with our community partners, and ensuring that we're able to manage small conflicts to prevent them from becoming large scale. We really want to make sure that we're partnering with our students, with our staff, with our community partners to prevent smaller scale things from becoming large scale. And also just the routine of students know that they have trustworthy adults that they can connect with, students learning to be there for one another. And we want to build a safe and orderly and environment where students are truly focused on learning. We also know that mental health is a serious concern that we have. So I think our added supports, though it might not be safety specific, I do believe that the mental health supports that we're able to put in place, either in our school-based mental health centers, school-based health centers, and with our community partners, is one way to address some of the sometimes dysregulation we see in students, in groups, and conflicts. Well, I think now more than ever, we're going through some of the most transformational times ever in education. The advent of artificial intelligence is just one example of how rapidly things are changing. And with that, our workforce is demanding a different person to come in and fulfill those roles than it did 20, 40, 50 years ago, which a lot of our educational models are built on that time of a different generation, a different industrial revolution in terms of what the needs of the workforce are. So it's an exciting time, and both we need their support, but we also need to truly support the students who are going to be leaving our high schools and entering the workforce. We'd like to hold on to our students right here and have them be really engaged and successful members of our communities and of our workforce. And I think MMSD, whether you have children here or not, is absolutely serving that role and is well poised to serve that role into the future. So many ways. Madison continues to be a large city, but very much a word of mouth connections. I'm really proud of that. I'm a product of that myself. But if you go to our webpage, MMSD Volunteer, there's an FAQ on there. There's different links. There's opportunities for you to sign up to be a volunteer. And it's a way for you to the community to stay engaged with opportunities that we might have. But again, I think a great opportunity to connect with a school that's local to you, or a teacher or a coach or a principal you might know. Connect with them and find out, what are some opportunities. We are a very supportive community as well. We're large, but we're also very tightly woven together in the work that we do, of course centered on children. So it's an exciting time to be in MMSD, and I'm thrilled to be back as superintendent. I think it's imperative for all of our community to really take an interest in public education, both in the state and a nation as a whole. We have a lot of great work to do. We've come out of some really difficult times, but we need to continue to press for the importance of funding public education, making sure that our children today can be successful tomorrow.